So this is part 3 of my ECCO reflection video. This one I'm going to talk about getting to know your students. And I know that's something that we say a lot as education majors and professors will say a lot and we say a lot in ECCO, but it's definitely something that can't be overused or overstated or underestimated. This semester I built a connection with some of my students that I never built with students before. And, like I could go in there and talk to them and never before have I received cards from all of my students, and that was something that I did receive at the end of the semester this year, um, which is really cool for me. Seeing what they wrote into the cards and knowing each student's tendencies. Like I got to know them throughout the semester, and it was something that I could see in those cards. And just like, throughout the semester, getting to know your students, it helps you understand where your students are coming from and what their tendencies are going to be. Um, for example, like I knew this one student, he um, was very aggressive in situations, and he would always like be very defensive, and like if you say something, like he'll lash back at you or something like that. And so that's something that at first like I took personal, but throughout the semester as I got to know him, it got less and less because he knew me. But when it did happen, it was nothing that I took personal. It was something that I said, well, this is his tendency, we need to be able to work with this. And I think getting to know your students as an individual is something that I helped build my middle childhood philosophy on this semester. Being in TPS, their schools are K through 8, and I was just observing some of the things that happen in there compared to my own experiences, and some of the things that we talked about in my contemporary perspectives on middle childhood education class, and like what makes an effective middle school. And I think that while I don't necessarily like the K through 8 model that TPS uses, because those kids are in the same building from kindergarten potentially through the 8th grade, and then they're thrown into White High School. Um, I do think that the middle grades are still right for me because I love to treat students as an individual. I think that education is a very individualistic process, and I think that students need to be treated as if they are individuals, and help to, if we give everybody the same standardized test and we give everybody the same methods of instruction, that's bullcrap, because not all of them learn in the same way. And I know people talk about it, but differentiating instruction and things like that, but treating each student as an individual but still holding them to the high expectations that you expect from every student is something that I value very strongly and will use in my classroom in the future. Um, and just like getting to know the students helps out with that, because if you know your students, then you'll be able to provide for them individually, and you'll be able to say, well, this student needs this, so if it takes the extra work, if it takes the extra time, but it helps them succeed, then I'm doing my job as an educator. So I think that that's something really important that I've kind of known as I wanted to become a teacher, but definitely developed this semester through my field placement and definitely through some of the opportunities that ECCO has provided me with. So my next video will be on why I do ECCO and kind of some more reflection on how field placement has helped me realize this and some of the other activities that happen throughout the year.